Okay, we're live. Tweeting. All right. Testing, testing. Today on Quality Time with Family Ties, we learn, honestly, nothing. We've learned nothing. I have nothing to say. It's on you, Corey.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to Quality Time with Family Ties. I'm one of your hosts, Corey Pepper.
And me, Paul Packler.
I am here across country with Paul Packler. How are you tonight, Paul?
I'm good. It's 3 hours later where I am, which means that it's darker where I am.
No, it's dark here now.
Oh, no. Isn't that sad? That's depressing.
When do we have the time change? Next week?
Is that when it's coming for the fall back?
Yes, it's next week because it's Halloween. It's the weekend after Halloween. So Halloween's Monday. And then this episode will air after we've already elected a new president. I'm sure we've elected a new president. It just hasn't been settled yet, I'm sure.
Oh, boy. Yeah, I'm sure that, oh, God, I don't know. I'm really terrified.
I predict. We'll see if I'm Nostradamus, okay? Because we're doing this on, what are we, October 28th?
Yeah.
So I'll predict when this is released, which is the Thursday after Election Day, lawsuits will already have been filed.
Oh, boy. So I would say, looking forward, when you're listening to this episode now, hopefully the only falling back we'll be doing is the hour in time.
and not the to medieval times.
Exactly. Yes, the thousands of years of progress will have been deleted.
that the Republicans are thrusting upon us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, or grabbing upon us.
Yes, as it were, in this case, grabbing. So if you're playing along with us at home on Family Ties, this is season 4, episode 15, entitled "Fool for Love." And if you ask me, the fool for love is Skippy, and I think this episode firmly pushes the envelope with how much time I want to spend with Skippy. And nothing bad for Mark Price, is just fine. It's just I just don't want to spend all that much time with Skippy.
Yeah, they've built nothing for Skippy as a character beyond he's going to sexually harass Mallory for the rest of their lives.
And pretty much, you just wrapped up the episode. There we go. That's the end. Good night. Shalala.
Good night. Shalala. We'd like to thank. Wait, Corey, do your riffing as I pull up the credits.
oh, don't make me riff twice in the same episode.
So the thing about this episode, Corey, that I noticed when I was watching it in real time, I was like, this doesn't even feel like there's an A story. It feels like it's just a collection of B plots.
I was just going to say to you, well, you have to go with the whole dance thing being the A plot.
But that doesn't really come to the forefront until much later.
No, and it's really the emotional storyline is the relationship between Nick, Mallory, and Skippy, the three of them.
Right.
I think the one who comes out of this smelling most like a rose is Nick, where I thought they were very, very, very kind, and he was kind, and he was respectful, and he didn't flip to the jealous boyfriend at all, ever.
Corey, he might be the most well-developed character on this whole show.
And I just thought, wow, that's interesting. That was an interesting choice they made. He doesn't have just not a fiber of jealousy, certainly not for Skippy. We'll see down the line. But for Skippy, he was empathetic. We were talking about empathy in the last episode. He was very empathetic to Skippy's needs. That he knows Skippy is crazy in love with Mallory and has always been crazy in love with Mallory. He also felt pretty confident that Mallory has no desire to be crazy in love with Skippy.
Yeah, Corey, he's like, as He's as progressive as anyone today. Like, it's insane. He has no jealousy. He was trying to fight for her so that way she would go to school and stay in school and go to college and not give up on college. And he wants her to do whatever work she wants to do and all kinds of stuff. And he wants her to make her own decisions. He doesn't care about who she hangs out with. And she's just, he has no problems with the parents that hate him when he meets them. He has no problems with Alex being a judgmental prick. He is, as I said online, woke as fuck.
What does that mean, woke?
Like in social justice, in racial things, in any sort of
woke.
Woke. It's from Twitter, Corey. It's what the kids are saying.
And what is it? How do you spell it?
Just like woke, like I woke.
WOKE.
Yeah.
It's not it doesn't mean something like will offer.
No, it's not. It's not like fuck being for unlawful carnal knowledge or whatever. No, Corey, I really am excited to see the people who follow us on Twitter and stuff to see what they think of this new woke announcement, or that you're finding out what woke means.
Wow. If anyone listening can help an old man out, throw an old man a bone here and give me some understanding. And if it's fucking Scott, by the way, if it's fucking Scott who, oh, sure, I know it. Fuck you. Change a fucking diaper, all right?
Oh,
God
no.
damn, he's pissing me off now.
Oh, no. This paternity leave is really just, it's now becoming an us versus Scott thing.
Oh, well, geez. I'll welcome him back with open arms.
I hope. Okay, Corey, Madison just tweeted at us the Urban Dictionary definition of woke,
yes.
And I am now retweeting it and adding you.
Okay.
So you will be able to, once we're done here, don't do it now. I don't want to be by my lonesome.
Mm-hmm.
But do some research.
On the Madison, no, you see, but Madison's a kid. Madison, she's a kid.
Right. So they're teaching us. The kids are, it's like a what are they called? Who sing Teach the Children Well or whatever?
Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young.
Yeah, it's like that, but opposite.
Yeah, it's they're teaching us well. Well, that's why I always say about my students in school is that they keep me young, but they're also foreigners. So, there it is. It's right there.
There you go.
Yeah, Snoopy Madison.
Corey, now when you're teaching, are you the cool teacher that sits backwards in their chair type thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah, I am. I'm the cool teacher. I'm the cool teacher who, on the syllabus that they make us hand out for their degrees, it has like required things. And on the first day of class, I definitely should not go into this on.
So Brian, just edit all this part out.
Yeah, I definitely shouldn't go into what I do, what I do at school against school rules. So we'll get rid of that.
Well, yeah, we'll just cut and move. There we go. You know what, Corey? It used to be that I felt like I was giving a lot of personal stories and anecdotes, and now as we're into season 4, this is becoming like a vlog for you.
It is. It's going to be, ultimately, it's therapy, and it's so much cheaper.
And less effective.
And much less effective. So we were talking about the B plot. So we got the dance B plot. We have the Skippy and Mallory B plot. We also have the Alex's mustache B plot.
Holy shit.
This is the one I couldn't believe it wasn't just a moment. I couldn't believe it was an episode.
Yeah. And also before that, the thing we open with is a B plot with Jennifer and Elise, and they're they're stretching because Steven is out of town. So now Elise is making Jennifer do all the Steven tasks with her.
So are we covering for a week off for Michael Gross?
I guess so. I mean, because it comes up again. But like, Corey, we've just listed off 4 different plots in this episode, and none of them feel like an A plot.
No, they're all B plots.
Yeah. And the mustache that Michael J. Fox has, Corey, I remember that mustache because it took me until I was about 28 to get anything like this.
I still have that mustache. I'm 60 and I still have that mustache.
You get a good goatee going though.
It grows in, but it's still wispy. It's never satisfying to me. I'm constantly on the verge of shaving.
Right.
So we open this. They're stretching. Mom and Jennifer are stretching. Alex's mustache. By the way, I have to ask you, given the fact that it is a weenie mustache, given the fact that they try and make a joke out of the weenie mustache, given the fact that they try and make a plot out of the joke that he has a weenie mustache, given all that, when did Alex grow it? His mother didn't notice yesterday that he was growing a mustache. He lives in that house.
Yeah, he lives in the house, and it takes, no matter, even if I feel like you're a very virile man that's middle-aged and can grow a full beard, it takes you a while. And so why is it this big surprise? It's really odd, and I don't even know what to say.
Alec, I wrote down the word logic. Once again, it's the logic police.
And then Corey, not only that, the logic of when did Michael J. Fox have time to grow it in between weeks of episodes?
There must have been. I thought to myself, there must have been a hiatus week before this.
Right.
One of those hiatus weeks that's built into every sitcom.
Yeah.
So he goes to the refrigerator, Alex, with his mustache, and he brings out a giant plate o' sandwich fixins. Yep, there's the plate o' sandwich fixins. Then he goes and gets a couple of slices of bread. Fuck you, Alex P. Keaton. Get orange juice.
Who needs to eat when orange juice exists?
And I saw it. It was in the refrigerator. When he opened it up, you could see orange juice in there.
I think he spit on the orange juice container, like just to dismiss it.
And his sister and his mom are laughing at his mustache.
As they should be.
Yes. And then there's a constant, there's dirt on your upper lip joke. And then Skippy comes in, and what is the first thing he says to Alex? Hey, Alex, there's dirt on your upper lip. Ba-boom. Number 2. There we go. That's funny.
Yeah. Who gets dirt on their upper lip? That where this joke came from.
I get it.
And then Corey, the sandwich that he makes, I don't know what he grabs white bread, a stack of something orange, which I guess ultimately was cheese.
American cheese, right?
And then mayonnaise. White bread, American cheese, and mayonnaise. That is the whitest meal ever.
I am, as a Jew, I can't tell you how nauseating that thought of American cheese, mayonnaise, and white bread is. I can't. Now, if no mayonnaise and grill it, now we're talking. I'm okay with a little grilled cheese.
A+, yeah.
I'm fine with that. And I'm fine with American cheese for grilled cheese, too. That's just fine. But
I hate mayonnaise, Corey.
Oh, I know that there are people in this world who detest mayonnaise, which probably means you've never had a tuna salad or an egg salad or anything like that.
Oh, man, Corey. Madison just sent pictures of Michael J. Fox with a mustache, and it looks even worse because he's doing it in real life. I'm retweeting them. Everyone go to our Twitter account and look at these pictures of Michael J. Fox with a mustache. It's really bad.
Wow.
Ugh.
Is this from real life?
Yeah, look, he's like out and about in the Hollywood something. He's having a good time, living it up. He looks like he's like a character that Matthew McConaughey would have played or something. I don't even know what that means. Just bad news. Don't grow mustaches. Unless, Corey, this is great that we're bringing this up now. My best friend Jason Wiggin is growing a mustache for Movember, and when this episode comes out, I'll make sure to post the link. It helps raise awareness and funds to help find cures for masculine cancers, testicular, prostate, etc., etc., etc.
Which is a very good thing. That's when they don't want you to shave. I think that's when I originally grew my beard. It was about 3 years ago during Movember.
Okay, yeah. So he's doing this, and he's been doing it for the past 5 years. And I'll put up the links. And please, if you can give money to this, it would be a good thing.
That would be very good. So Skippy comes over and asks Mallory if she wants to go to the dance. Is it homecoming? Is that what it is?
Yep, exactly.
Homecoming dance. And of course, the question really is, well, what about Nick?
And then Nick comes in.
Yeah, and Skippy tells Alex that she's just using him to make Skippy jealous. That's the only reason. She's using Nick. And her first line when they walk in the room is, "I love you, Nick."
It's he's right. Skippy's right. When he's right, he's right.
Yeah, I'm afraid it didn't quite sound like she was using him very much. So now there's Nick and Skippy. Oh, and Nick has a little physical business with Skippy and hurts his arm. And Skippy says, "Don't worry about that. My mother will sew that back on for me."
Ugh, just the worst.
And of course, Mallory wants to go to the dance. He asks if Mallory if she'll go to the dance with him, and she says the very predictable no.
Yeah, if it were Alex asking, he would have just then taken her to the dance, because we know how Alex P. Keaton just doesn't listen to anything anyone says.
Very Trump-avian. Just take what you want.
Yeah.
I apologize. It could be President-elect Trump right now, and I apologize if that
it could be. We're living in the future.
Well, if it is President-elect Trump, fuck you. I'm angry about that too.
Yeah, that's just another reason to be really upset. And then take a cue from Michael J. Fox and do the opposite.
Right.
Move to Canada.
I suspect it is not President-elect Trump. I suspect it's President-elect Clinton, who's now going to spend the next 2 months, instead of transitioning from one administration to the next, fighting lawsuits in court over her ridiculous emails and Mr. Trump's obsession with winning over.
Yeah, it worked so well for Republicans in the 90s. Constant litigation. Great idea. That's it's a great way to run a decade.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm glad our 4-4 Supreme Court that the Republicans are now going to stonewall and keep at 8 is working smoothly and is going to straighten all of the ills of America out.
I don't know for listeners right now. I don't know if you can tell, but yeah, there's really nothing that happens in this episode. We've talked about Movember. We've talked about Michael J. Fox's mustache, music from the 60s, and the future elected president.
Right. And I think we're avoiding this. No, we're in scene 2. We made it to scene 2. We're in the kitchen.
We're there.
Alex is working on his speech for homecoming. Didn't quite get, why is Alex P. Keaton, a Leland College student, why is he speaking at homecoming?
Someone asked him to do so, and it's not Dr. Professor, whatever the guy's name was. You know, the guy that we hated, the one that was the Nixon of Harding High.
Scott would remember his name because Scott's good at remembering irritating little facts that I couldn't give a rat's ass about.
We miss you, Scott. We can't wait to see you next week.
Absolutely. You'll know this guy's name.
Yeah. But Principal Dr. Schulte was his name.
That's it. Principal Dr. Schulte.
This is someone else who invited Alex back to the high school to give a speech at the homecoming dance like no one has ever done in the history of ever.
Makes no sense.
No.
So
Alex is drinking orange juice, Corey. What does that do for you?
Where is this that Alex is drinking? How did I miss that?
That's how bad this episode is, Corey. Something as joyous as orange juice slipped by you.
I have it later on, don't I? I thought I had orange. Oh, no, he has it like in a little orange juice glass. Yeah, I just didn't write it down. I remember talking about it. I remember saying, oh, yeah, he does have orange juice. And is it Jennifer who has orange juice as well in this scene?
Maybe. Definitely Alex, though. So it's like Nick comes up and says, hey, Skippy, I heard you asked Mallory to dance. And Skippy, like, freaks his shits his pants.
I have it down. Yep, it's right here. I didn't see it. I have OJ written down.
But Skippy's like, no, I didn't say anything. And then he's like, oh, I wish you had, because I don't want to go. I don't want to go back to school with a tie.
3 reasons why you don't want to go back to school. 3 reasons. School, tie, school.
That's 3.
That's it. It's good. My favorite one, of course, was of that joke is the Mel Brooks joke from Blazing Saddles when he's got the criminals, when Harvey Korman is hiring criminals. Or I
already know where this is. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's okay. What's your resume? Tell us your resume. And he says, rape, slaughter, pillage, and rape. He goes, you said rape twice. And he goes, so? I like rape. While that joke doesn't play very well on a college campus, and certainly we have not advocated violence toward women in any way, shape, or form, the joke makes me laugh.
Yeah, exactly. And a lot of jokes in Blazing Saddles. It's probably like Don Rickles. It somehow transcends all of the progress culturally that we've made. It still holds up.
You know, I'm always saying when I see stuff like even 30 years ago, I just think I watched something recently and I can't remember what it was. I said, would it play nowadays? You know, we live in the world has changed. I think this election cycle has changed the world yet again.
Corey, you know what it's like, and this is silly, but I bought at one point the Ed Sullivan Show episodes where the Beatles came on, and to see the difference from the first time they came on in 1964 in February. And then they came on like 6 weeks later, and then 1 year later in 1965, and just the difference of a year, how much changed. And that's what we're living through now. It's like you go back and watch early episodes of like 30 Rock even, and you're like, this is pretty intense, like either whatever topic we're talking about, the politics of what they're saying is not great. And you just see how people, I don't know, I just feel like shit's changing and it's really crazy.
Mm-hmm. So Skippy says, you know, it's not fair. It's not fair. It's not fair that Nick and hi, how are you?
Oh, great.
Yeah, how was class?
Great. Hi, Paul.
Hey, everybody. How's it going? Congratulations, Logan.
Yes, congratulations, Logan.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah, thank you so much. Appreciate it.
We'll promote it when we get closer to it. Don't worry, we'll promote it.
Yeah, we'll get all of our fans to watch.
Yes, we'll get our fans to watch when it airs. Although the show,
equally good sitcom.
Although the show, an equally good sitcom to Family Ties. Actually,
don't insult American Housewife.
That's what I was gonna say. Don't you dare insult American Housewife like that.
Actually, this episode, very funny script. I was at the table read the other day, and you know what? From table read to production script, I only noticed maybe 3-4 lines changed the whole time.
Wow.
Solid. It was laugh after laugh after laugh, and this is a single camera show, so it doesn't even matter if you have laughs. So.
Oh, that's true too. But at the same time, with a single camera show, that you think that they need to lock in a script faster because there's more hanging on all the technical stuff?
Yes, because when you shoot, you're shooting a movie. It's got to be finished.
So you can't put in a half-assed first draft and then see what happens.
Yeah, absolutely. You can't put in joke with alternates like you can in front of a multi-camera where you could say, okay, I knew that one wouldn't work. Let's try this line.
Right.
So Skippy is upset. Alex is drinking orange juice, and Alex says that he's committing himself to finding a date for the homecoming dance for Skippy. So we cut to the living room, and who's at the door but Skippy, and then who's at the door right after Skippy, or with Skippy, but his date. And his date is Dr. Sylvia Bachner?
I thought it was Wagner, but I wasn't sure.
Couldn't tell. It sounded different to me. I wrote it down 3 different ways: Wagner, Bachner.
And they make a huge joke, Corey, over the fact that she is Mrs. Wagner, and then she's divorced, but she kept the name, but she's also a doctor. So then she's Dr. Mrs. Sylvia Wagner.
Dr. Bachner.
Oh, God damn it. And before that, even before she came in and Skippy came in, there was more mustache humor.
Mm-hmm. And we find out that Dr. Sylvia Dr. Bachner is a shrink.
Right. Okay. All right. So now what?
Yep. And Skippy is going to be a case study for her.
Yeah, we don't establish what she's studying, why she's here, and at the same time, she seems willing to mix it up with Skippy, who we know is an 18-year-old senior in high school.
Somebody says, "Hey, it's a homecoming date. It's not a dream date. Don't worry about it."
All right. But like she is definitely a middle-aged woman who is a doctor and at the same time is dating a teenager.
And Skippy's trying to use Dr. Bachner as a ploy in which he can make Mallory jealous and come over to his side, which of course we know ain't gonna happen.
Corey, who do you think doesn't care about Skippy's ploy more, Mallory or you and I?
I can't tell, but it could be Mallory. It could be Mallory cares even less than we do.
Yeah, because she's not like taking diligent notes on his actions. She's
Exactly.
she's living her life and dating Nick.
On the other hand, we are not only watching the show and writing notes on it 30 years later, but we're recording a podcast going over our notes. And if something fucked up technically happens in this podcast, we'll do it again on Tuesday. Like it or not.
Oh no! Oh no, Corey! I think we need to see a magnesium flash or something. There you go. Oh, there you go. So, I wrote down this note, and it took up 3/4 of a page. I said, "Will Michael J. Fox ever learn to say the word sorry correctly?" At this point in the series, I'm now just annoyed that he doesn't say sorry.
Sorry. And this was voted in 1983 as the worst act break ever.
Which is crazy because they predicted it because it happened in 1986. They predicted in 1983. They were like, 3 years from now, this is going to be terrible.
We had a little jolting quake here, speaking of Nostradamus, earlier this afternoon.
Really? What happened?
Just a tiny little jolt. It was just a jolt. And when we looked at it, we couldn't find it on TV. And all three of us looked at each other and said, what was that? We said, that was an earthquake. I know what an earthquake feels like. So it was a jolt. So we looked it up on the computer, and sure enough, it was a 2.5, and it was centered right here in Sherman Oaks, California, where Scott and I both live.
Holy moly, that's crazy.
Yeah, so it was a very small quake, but it was centered right in Sherman Oaks. So that's why we felt it. And then we read a news report later that said that people couldn't even feel it in Woodland Hills in a different part of the valley, like 15 minutes away from here. You couldn't even feel it. And and for us, it was just like a little uppercut. It was just a punch. It was just like a boom. And it was like, okay, what was that? Okay, that was a quake.
Was there any damage anywhere?
Nothing. No, tiny.
Wow.
Just a little jolt. Should we take a break right here? And
yeah, now that we've established that you're okay, let's take a break.
Okay.
We'll be right back. And we're back. Oh, man. So, I mean, this episode has been going on for what feels like 8 months, which is the precise amount of time Alex has been growing this mustache. Whoa!
8 months, and no one has noticed.
So, Corey, if he's been growing this mustache for 8 months, let's think about this logically for a moment. He's been growing this since before he graduated high school?
Before he met Ellen.
Before he met Ellen. So all of these episodes that we've been watching from season 3 to season now, he has been slowly growing a mustache without our knowing it.
Before Andy was born.
Yeah. It's shocking. It's really, you feel like you know somebody, and then you find out they've been growing a mustache for the better part of a year.
Mm-hmm. So Nick shows up and he's wearing like a tie around his neck, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And Skippy and Nick have a little scene here,
which is interesting. The most interesting thing about this scene, Corey, between Skippy and Nick, is that Skippy leans against the fireplace, and you see that he is wearing suspenders and a belt,
which we all know are part of the same food group. And you don't repeat. You don't have bread with potatoes on it, unless you go to the Primanti Brothers. In that case, you do have bread with potatoes.
Slam, yeah. Corey.
Pittsburgh, all the way. Go ahead. But other than that, you don't have usually, rice and bread. You don't make a rice sandwich.
No. Oh my God, could you imagine a rice sandwich? That's something that Alex would eat along with his mayonnaise. As he pisses on the orange juice because he's forsaken it for so long.
Nick wants to talk with Skippy about Mallory. Is that what I wrote down?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like this scene happens like 4 times in this episode.
And that's why my next note is really my favorite one of this whole episode. All I wrote was "oi," and then I stopped taking notes for the rest of the scene. It was just "oi." All I could think of was Nick was sweet, Skippy is weird, Mallory looks great. Who's this? Mrs. Who? Mrs.
Dr. Bachner. Dr. Bacher.
She comes in. She looks great, and it's a very awkward moment. And off we go to the dance.
Yeah, my note here I wrote was that Nick is a fucking saint.
He is.
Honestly.
He's absolutely.
Because Corey, you know what? My awareness of Nick before we started watching the show. So like what I thought of Nick as a person going through 30 years of my life is that he's an idiot and blah, blah, blah. Who cares? He's just a silly character. And now he might be my favorite character after Ellen.
Absolutely. I agree.
Yeah.
We're at the dance. Alex was the salutatorian of the class of 1984.
I can't believe they kept that much, like, their show Bible on hand, that they remember he didn't become the what do you call it?
Salutatorian.
Thank you, yeah.
But he was the salutatorian. And now he's homecoming speaker. It's a very rough crowd. They're not enjoying Alex's speech at all.
Yeah. I mean, that's the most realistic thing ever.
All right, that was real. He goes over and he asks a clearly depressed Skippy if he's having fun.
He might as well have said that right into the camera.
Right. All right, are you having fun? And we could have gone, nope, not really.
No, not at all. No, sorry, Alex.
He's jealous of Mallory. Skippy is jealous of Mallory, of course. Jealous of Mallory and Nick.
Right.
Alex's speech ends, and Skippy is watching Mallory and Nick dance, and he goes over and he cuts in a very lummoxy way.
It's so depressing. He's such a loser.
Yeah, and he goes over and it's like he wants to fight Nick. And of course, I don't know, it just seems stupid. It doesn't seem like it's Skippy. It's certainly not Nick.
No. And Corey, the whole cutting in thing, what the hell is that?
I don't understand. There was a time when people cut in. I don't know.
I don't see how cutting in was ever acceptable. That seems so shitty.
It shouldn't have been. If a guy is dancing with a girl, the guy's dancing with the girl.
Yeah.
You see two people humping and go over and tap the guy out like it's freeze tagged and go, hey, could you stop humping? Can I cut in?
Yeah.
I'll be in that vagina for a few minutes now. Thank you.
Oh my God.
Can you cut in? Thank you. I'll cut in on that.
How long is a song even though? I mean, it's just 3.5 minutes. Yeah.
Alex, Nick, and Skippy get into this physical shtick business that's really unattractive.
Yeah, they're rolling around on the floor, all 3 of them. They're like having a fight. Ugh.
And then we find out that the principal, Dr. Schulte, is upset with Skippy because he has 4 overdue library books.
What? All right, so then get the books back, Schulte. What the fuck is this?
And we cut, thankfully, to the last scene of the episode.
And can you wait? I'm sorry, Corey.
Yes.
Can you imagine a principal of a school giving a fuck about 4 overdue
library books? No, I can't.
Like he goes through the high school of 500 kids, and he's like, "Oh, you have 5 overdue library books. You've got a good record. You have 3 overdue library books, and I saw you jerking off behind the periodicals."
Wow. We're home, and we're in the kitchen.
So in this scene, I have "kill me, kill me, kill me," and checkers.
I do start with the same note of checkers.
Okay.
Yes, Jennifer kicks Elise's ass in checkers. Alex enters, and he goes off about the fight with Skippy and Nick. And he blames the mustache on it in some way, that it was the mustache's fault.
This mustache.
Right.
I never have. It's like that. Who said that? Was it Churchill who said, "Never have so many owed so much to so few"?
Yeah.
Never have so many minutes of an episode been owed to such a small mustache.
Small mustache, and it just doesn't pay. I don't know. Maybe it's something he did during a hiatus. They said, keep it, we'll write it. I don't know. It's just awful. Skippy apologized. Oh, Nick and Mallory. Nick defends Skippy, doesn't he?
Yeah. Once again, he is just constantly playing 10-dimensional chess with these people.
I wrote, Nick is an absolute mensch in this episode. There's nothing else I can say to describe him. You have such respect for him after this episode. He is the most likable character.
It's been growing for some time now, but this episode puts into stark relief just how, like, he's so empathetic. He's the opposite of Alex.
He is. Absolutely is. So Skippy apologizes to Nick. Nick accepts his apology because he's the nicest guy in the whole world. And then Skippy is sort of happy that this sort of happened, because now he says, he fantasized for so long about marrying Mallory and going down the Nile in Paris with her. I did like Mallory's joke. She delivered it well. She's silly. The Nile's not in Paris. It's in London.
Oh, yeah, that was good. That was a nice joke because it played with both of their dumbness. And
it was gentle and consistent. And then it explained something about being, when they were little, Skippy was glued to the playhouse door.
I wasn't even listening to that.
Yeah, and something about Skippy admits that he really just wants attention, and any attention is good attention to Skippy. And they're both 18 years old, and he's going to try and be more mature in the future and just be friends with Mallory and not be stalky and moony and all love interesty. And he immediately says that he can do that. And then a second later, he asks Mallory to marry him. And we all realize that, no, you can't teach an old Skippy new tricks.
Oh, Skippy. Just take him out back like Lenny.
I don't blame the actors. They handled it as well as they could. It just wasn't very well written.
No, not at all. Mark Price is fine. He's good at when you give him small amounts of funny background stuff, or he can punch up expository whatever have yous. But building a whole episode around him, arguably, because at the same time, we couldn't even tell what this episode was about for the first 10 minutes.
No, because of the 4 plots.
Yeah. But
like Seinfeld.
Yeah, it's like Seinfeld if no one knew what they were doing.
Hey, you got the credits up?
Oh, sure. Let's get the hell out of here. So, yeah, that was a terrible episode. Luckily, I don't even have anything further to say.
Luckily, nah, don't have anything to say.
Yeah, luckily I had nothing to say. Rate and review our show on iTunes. For questions and comments, email us at qualitytimewithfamilyties@gmail.com. Follow us on Twitter at QTWFT for updates. You can follow each of us. I'm at Paul Packler.
I'm at Corpep. And Scott is at weaseltakingpaternityleave.com.
Yeah, he got a new account, which I don't think is great, but he's happy with it. So good. Good on Scott.
Paternityleave.com. Actually, his is Follow Jones. He has no other website.
Oh, totally backed out. Ugh. You can also like us on Facebook. We'd like to thank our host and producer, Barbara Dillon at Fanbase Press. Fanbase Press is a comic book publisher and an online community supporting other creators and fans through daily interviews, reviews, and podcasts that span the pop culture spectrum. www.fanbasepress.com. Also, Perry Adams, who beautifully performs Family Ties and our theme song Without Us. Check out Perry's website, www.perryadams.com. We'd like to thank Bryant Dillon, who created our fantastic drawing and artwork, as well as edits our show. Bryant is the president and co-founder of Fanbase Press. Follow him on Twitter at Comic Book Slayer. Finally, we'd like to thank Sean Foster, Fanbase Press's graphic designer, for designing our logo. And finally, I'd like to, if you have a chance, please go to our Facebook page or our Twitter account and click on the link about Movember, and please donate if you can. We'll see you next week. Bye.
La 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 la.